Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing an update on the antique shops that I have been a part of for the last month. What I'm going to do is 2 months for one, 1 month for one, and about 2 days for one. So let's get into it. The first one is Antiques and Uniques in Melbourne, Florida. So that is off of Sarno Road in Melbourne, Florida, for those that are familiar with the area. I joined this store February 15th, and today is April 20th. So the way their month runs is from the 15th to the 15th of the month. So I have done 2 months so far. So I'm going to discuss that one. Then I have another one at American Antiques and Vintage Market. And then their months run like normal months from the 1st to the 30th or 31st. And then I just joined one called Smith Mercantile, which is in White City or like Port St. Lucie, Florida. And I've only been in there for about 2 days, but their months run from the 1st to the end of the month as well. So first off is Antiques and Uniques. Let me just say, I love this store. I made a sale my very first day. Now, it wasn't much. I did a video on that. I made like 90 cents. But the point was that I made some money my first day. So I was super excited about that. So if I'm looking down, it's because I'm going to be looking at my consignor account, which I guess like the web base that these different antique markets use to give you an overview of your products. So I enter all of my products into this consignor account. Maybe I'll put like a picture somewhere or like a video of it up here. But I enter my products in there and they make barcodes for me. They print them out at the store. Then I just attach them to my merchandise. So it gives me updates as far as like what's been purchased and what day has been purchased. So I love consignor. The first two stores use consignor. The third one, they old school, so no, they don't. But the first two do, and I love that. So from February 15th through March 15th, I made $110.70. Yay! Listen, like, y'all don't understand. I don't be making much. So, like, this was super exciting for me to make this much in a store on my first month because from what I've been told, it takes about 2 to 3 months for people to get familiar with your products and start using them. So I was happy to see that I made some money there. Now, the thing is that I do have to pay to be in these stores. So I pay like a booth fee. For this one, the fee is $72.10, I believe. So what they do is all the money that I make for that month, they'll go ahead and take their $72 out and then they'll write me a check for the rest of the money. So, it was $110.70. I think I'm looking at this the right way. Yeah, so it looks like that's what I made that month. And the check that I got was for $24.20. So you can see it there. It's for me. Yeah, so I could be a little bit off with my math because honestly, the math ain't mathing now that I think about it because it's $72. I think, the issue is that I probably should have done this to March 14th because the month starts over on March 15th. So if I made sales on March 15th, then those technically shouldn't count, which I did make sales on March 15th. So those shouldn't be included. So it looks like looking at this spreadsheet of what they have for me, it looks like I made a decent amount of money on my artisan bundles, which are like these little clear plastic bags. I get them from the Dollar Tree. They are not environmentally friendly, guys. I'll be real, they are not. But they're cute. So they fit 3 soap bars in them. And so I just put them in there. I wrap them up with like a gold ribbon or gold bow. And I sell those for $20. So 3 bars for $20. So it looks like I sold a few of those in that month. Yeah, I sold 3 of those. Then I also have the little end pieces. I think I showed you guys those before. Like when I cut my loaf, I have like 10 bars and I have 2 little small thin end pieces. So I sell those end pieces for $1. I sold a bunch of those. Most of my sales were those bars. So it looks like I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, so 14 of those. And then I sewed, it looks about 4 of the sea moss turmeric. So I did another video where I talked about how like I'm running low on my sea moss bars, and I am, but not because of that store. It was because I was mixing up the soap bar. So the lavenders are sold out. Those were sold out at Macedonia Church in Melbourne when I did the craft fair there. But the actual sea moss lemongrass bars, there's still a lot of those left at the store. It looks like I sold maybe 4 of those. Yeah, I sold 4 of those in that first month. And I started with 14. So there was like 10 bars there. Then I dropped off, I believe, 4 more. So now it's back at 14. At least for this month, I sold 4 of those. And then the Hemp Glow body oil. So I haven't like advertised them at all on like social media, but they seem to be a hit at a craft market that I was doing in West Melbourne every month. Sometime last year. I haven't done that market at all this year, but last year I did it for about 5 months. And it seemed like I always sold at least one of those bottles every time I was out there. And I remember there were 2 individuals that actually reached out to me through my website and was like, hey, we're in Melbourne. We need to replenish our body oils. So like, where you at? Because clearly I haven't been at that particular market. So I was happy to announce the first time when they reached out to me, I was like, listen, I can meet y'all where y'all want to meet. But they didn't follow through. And then they sent me another, like both of them sent me another message like a month after that. So then I was happy to announce that, hey, they are in this store in Melbourne. So I don't know if they bought them from that store, but there have been body oils that have been sold. So I like to keep those replenished. And those are made with mainly hemp oil, but there's also olive oil in them and grapeseed oil. And I sent them either with rose essential oil, lavender essential oil, or no essential oil. So you just get the smell of the oils. But it seems like a lot of people have been buying the ones with rose essential oil. So that's what I've been making, is a lot of them with the rose essential oils. So for the first month, right, so I got a check for $24 after the $72. I think it's $72.10. I don't know where it's at. Yeah, 72, sorry. $72.10. Yes. So that paid out. And so the way this market works is they charge me $72.10 for rent every month. And then they also charge 10% of everything I sell. So that was the reason why I was like, I only made 90 cents that first day. Because even though that end piece bar is $1, I only get 90 cents from it because they take 10%. So it may not be like the best, system to like get rich, but I'm not really trying to get rich. So maybe that's why it's working for me. I'm just happy that like my products are being out there. They're being advertised through the store, and that I am making some money. Like, is it life-changing? No. Is it going to pay my daycare bill? No. Which that's always been my goal, is to pay my daycare bills. And so maybe over time it will get to that point. But it wasn't like that in February. But I'm still happy at the progress and the sales that I did make. So now I'm going to go to the next month, which would have started March 15th through April 14th. Do this the right way this time. Okay. So this one I did better. I wonder if because it says that I made $205. I wonder if they are including the prior month. I'm not really too sure. I got to figure out this math. I didn't go to school for math, y'all. I already told y'all that. I don't know. But that's what it says, that my amount was $205. Which, you know what? They may be right. So it's probably $205, and then they take away their 10% plus their $72. Because then it said my net total was $61. I don't know. But anyway, so during that month, oh, wait a minute. It still says February 15th. Sorry. So I have this for the wrong month. That's why it's saying that. All right. So March 15th, bear with me, y'all, till April 14th. Okay. That makes more sense. All right. So it says I made $108.90. So let's see. What did I sell? Hemp Glow Body Oil. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I sold 4 of the hemp glow body oils during that month. And then I did a soap making class. So I actually had 5 attendees for my soap making class, but 4 of them purchased on my website, which I prefer, and 1 of them purchased in the store. So I have 1 for that. And then this is when people started buying my $5 mini bars. So I have, how many mini bars were sold, which includes the sea moss, but I have like cinnamon spice and peppermint as well. So I sold 1, 2, 3 of those, and then 3 of the trial size, the $1 pieces, and then it looks like 1 of the $20 artisan bundles. So that gave me $108.90, and so I got a cash out check for that for $36.30, or sorry, $36.80. So these are 2 checks that I get to add these to my business account, which honestly, like, it may not seem like a lot, but like when I tell y'all I am grateful, like I really am, because before being in the store, I didn't have like this amount of money to deposit into my account, because my sales fluctuate. Like there would be a month or possibly even 2 months where I don't make any sales. And I thank God for my subscribers. I have 3 Soap of the Month subscribers. So that's $12 a piece for those 3. So that money is coming in every month regardless. So that's kind of helped me stay afloat, because I do have to, pay for my website. I have a MailChimp subscription to like send you guys the newsletters and everything. So those subscription payments, those Soap of the Month subscription payments help me, well, not just help, like it paid for the website, and it paid for my MailChimp subscription for those months when I don't make sales. So this is good, because this is basically saying that, I made $36 in a sale in April, or I guess March to April. Then I made $24 in a sale from February to March. And it's a big deal to me because it doesn't happen. Like, for example, I have this one customer. I originally started my business in Northport, Florida, and I have this one customer, and she is like a saint. She orders from me like once every 3 months or so, maybe sometimes every 2, no, honestly, it's about every 3 months. She orders every 3 months, but when she orders, she does order like a pretty decent size order. Like she's spending at least $50, between $50 and $75 when she makes her order. So what happens is, like, when she makes that order, like I was saying, she made that order actually 2 days ago. She placed her order for about $55 worth of soap. And so when she does that $55, before I had these subscriptions, I was like, this $55 gotta last until she makes another purchase, because I may not get enough sales to handle the website fees and the subscription fee during that time. So I have been trying to make an active effort to actually use the business account to purchase things like my oils and butters, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. So I try to stretch out, whatever orders I do get, I try to stretch that out and not use that on supplies, because I would rather it pay for the website and a MailChimp subscription. So I am thankful for, these checks, because this is money that I can put in, and hopefully this will become more consistent and it will increase, because people are going to get to know me a little bit more. And I'm hoping that my soap making class pop off, because if that pops off, that'll be really good, because I have enough supplies to cover 10 attendees each month. So I have a soap making class set up for this coming Saturday and this coming Sunday. Nobody has purchased for either one of them as of yet, but I am hopeful that someone will, and that's going to help out. Like, if I can get 4 or 5 attendees every month, then I'll be good. So I'm very grateful for these checks. I haven't gotten the 3rd check because the 3rd month isn't over. It would end May 15th. So we got some time for there. And I think, let me see. So far on that account, I've made $27 between April 15th and now. So April 15th and April 20th, I've made $27, and they have purchased. the artisan bundle. Like, people really be checking for those 3 bars of soap. So I think they may like the bulk, so to speak, of soap bars. So I have one of those. Then someone bought one of my full-size soap bars, which is my turmeric and mint soap. And then 3 end pieces. And one of them is the CMOS. So 3 end pieces were sold. So that gave me a grand total of $27.90. It was actually $31 that was purchased, but after the market takes out their fees, it's $27 that I am due so far. So that's the first store. Dang, I feel like I'm talking so long. It's already been 15 minutes. Sorry, guys. Let me speed this up. But that's the first store. The second store is American Antiques Market. That store I'm honestly thinking about coming out of, because I know that, like they say, it takes 2 to 3 months to get established, but because I've had such success with the first store, I feel like I'm using that to kind of judge the second store, and it ain't looking too good for the second store. So for the first month there, which started March 1st, yeah, because I'm going into my my second month. So during the first month, which started March 1st to March 31st, I made a total of $22.88. The vending booth fee for this store is $60. $60.62 is the vending fee. And then they take 12%. So, while the other store takes 10%, they take 12%. So they take a little bit more. And I sold one artisan bundle, which is the 3 soap bars. And the owner's son bought that because I saw him when he did it. I was like, man, I ain't getting no sales. And he was like, you know what? I want to check out your soap. So he was like, I'm going to buy your bundle. So he bought that. So I saw that one happen. And then someone purchased 2 of the end pieces, which they're $1 each. So I ended up getting 88 cents because they take 12% for those. So that was all I made. So because of that, I had to pay them, it looks like I had to pay them $37.74 to keep my booth. So, it's kind of discouraging when you got one store that they paying you a check, even if it's just $24, they're paying me a check. Whereas with this one, I had to pay them $37. So that's one reason why I'm thinking about coming out. But then, like, the other reason is that when I started there, because I have a soap making class for them that's going to be this Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. So when I started with them, they were telling me how I have to give them a month's notice for all my soap making classes. Because with the first store, I can tell them like literally 2 weeks, and they like, cool, we got it on, like it's available, the date's available, you can do it. But with the second store, they were like, oh no, you got to give us a month's notice because we have to advertise on social media. Sorry, I'm in my garage and that door just slammed because it's windy out here in Florida, and I ain't gonna argue with it because I like the wind. Oh, this is actually better lighting. I should have closed that door a long time ago. But anyways, so they told me they need a month's notice because they're very heavy on advertising. It's very important that they market everything because they send out a weekly email and they're gonna market the class. So I started with them March 1st. I think I told them about this class like maybe March 15th because I was like, listen, let's go ahead and get this started on advertising. Because at the time, I know it was around the March 15th, because I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even have anybody signed up for my first soap making class at the first store. So I was getting a little concerned. So I was like thinking, oh, the second store is going to be more successful because how heavily they market things. They didn't even have me on the email listserv until I asked about it about 2 weeks ago. And we're at April 20th. The class for them, I believe, is April 27th. So I sent them an email and I'm like, well, hey, like, have y'all been marketing the class? Because I printed out some flyers. I left them up front, which I saw that people are taking the flyers because when I came to replenish the flyers, I saw that some of them were missing. So I said, okay, clearly people are taking them, but no one has purchased it. And they were like, well, let's check and see if we have you on the listserv. And like, of course, they don't. And then they sent out an email, because I think that was like a Saturday when I brought that to their attention. So they sent out the email Monday. They were like, well, you'll get the email Monday. You won't get all the past ones because you weren't on it. So they sent out the email on Monday, and then my soap making class is not even advertised. And they have in the email, here's a list of all our events for the month of April. So I'm like, okay, guys, like, seriously? So I respond again, like, hey, the class isn't even up here, and the class is in like 2-3 weeks. Like, what's going on? They never respond to me. Never responded to me. But then the following Monday, I saw it on the email, the soap making class. And then the Monday after that, which I think was this past Monday, I saw it on the email again. So I've seen it twice now, but they did not have it before. So this whole like month to advertise, they haven't even been advertising it for a month. So then I also asked them, well, what about social media? You said you're going to be advertising it on social media. And they were like, oh yeah, we are. And then of course, like I go to their page, they have not advertised it. So I said, well, let me make an Instagram reel so it can help them along, speed them along. So I made an Instagram reel and a TikTok, and I tagged them in both of them. They liked my Instagram reel, and then they added it to their story, which that kind of annoyed me because anybody that knows Instagram knows that stories last for 24 hours. So they added it to their story, and I'm like, that's going to be gone in 24 hours. Shouldn't you be making a post about it if you're supposed to be like actively advertising this? And then the TikTok one, they didn't even acknowledge that one at all. And I know that they had came on TikTok because I saw they made a TikTok after that day where I tagged them. So I'm just like, these people, I don't know if they're like purposely trying to sabotage me, excuse me, or what it may be, but they have been like dropping the ball. And so I'm like thinking no one's probably going to sign up for this class because not too many people know about it. At least with the first store, they have this event every Thursday called the Sip and Shop, where they offer alcoholic beverages to their customers and encourage them to shop, the different booths. And at there, because I gave them flyers as well, they put the flyers on the tables where you grab your alcoholic beverage. My flyers are sitting on that table. So my stuff is being actively advertised every week with the locals because it's at the Sip and Shop. And this second place, like they just dropped the ball. I'm just very disappointed. I have to give them a 30 days notice to leave. So I'm like thinking after this class on April 27th, because I haven't scheduled any more classes with them, I may give my notice after that and then just go ahead and hope for the best in the month of May and then just leave, because the first store and the second store are honestly right across the street from each other. So it's kind of like, why am I even in both of these stores? Like, they right at, like, when I say they're across the street, you can walk, they are across the street from each other. I don't even know why they have two antique stores next to each other like that, but they do. So I'm like thinking it probably won't hurt me much that I'm leaving that store. For one, I'm not making as much money in it. And two, you can go get my stuff right across the street. So what's the problem? Go across the street, you know what I'm saying? So like, I am thinking about putting in my 30 days notice for them after this failed class on the 27th. I mean, look, God is able. He's able. Maybe he'll send somebody there. But, they do have to purchase ahead of time. So, like, if I don't have any attendees purchased by, like, the 26th, like, that afternoon, then I'm probably going to just tell them to put a cancellation on the door or something. Because then it's like, even the spot that they have me to do the class in is not even a real spot. They were like, oh, we're going to put you in our family room. And when I go, because I said, well, let me see what the family room looks like. It's not even like a special room. It's like there's a bunch of booths around, and then there's like a dining table. And they're like, we'll put you at this dining table and call it the family room. And shoppers could still shop around and see, which I guess isn't a bad thing because then they can see and then get interested maybe. But the table seats about 6 people. And that's all they got is that one table. And there's not much room for me to bring my tables, because I have like my own tables that I can bring in the whole, like my supplies, the oils, everything. But it's just not set up like a real class. While the first store is set up like a class. It's a separate room. Now with the room, the door remains open. So people that are walking by, checking out other booths, they can come and they can look at what we're doing, which like I said, I think is cool because it's nice for them to be able to see. But like, it's a separate room, and they have 2 big utility tables in there for me, like 8-foot tapes or 8 feet tables or foot tables. And then they have room for me to put my tables, and they even have a sink. Cause I mean, like, a sink is important because I got to wash and clean stuff. So it's just like the first store. It's just better equipped for what I need to be done. So I don't know if like that it makes sense to stay at the second store. But y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. So now the third store. The third store is called Smith Mercantile. Right, Smith Mercantile Store. or antique store, and they are in White City / Port St. Lucie, Florida. And it's very like, I don't know, it's like very old fashioned in that it's like a big house, like a 3,000 square foot house, and they've turned it into a store. And they do have like legitimate antique stuff in there. But then they have this candle girl who they say do really, really well. And they got me in. They had a waiting list actually to come in. But they were like, we really need someone who makes soap because they don't have anyone to do that. And their candles, they say their candles do really well. So they're thinking soap would do well too. So that's why they got me in rather quickly, like very quickly. And I set up in that store on Friday. They're only open Monday through Saturday till 4 p.m. every day. And I'm just like, that is not enough hours, but they say it's going to work out. It's going to be fine. But the thing with them is that they don't use consignor. So I have to periodically check in. I'm going to see if I can have a good working relationship with the cashier so I can just call her and be like, girl, what's up? Like, do y'all need me to restock or what? Because it's like a 45-minute drive for me. And I have no way of knowing what's been sold unless I come into the store, because they keep like this big binder, like double this size, and they have like the pages and they have the vendor number. And when you purchase something from the vendor, they actually take the price tag off of the item and put it in the book. And that lets you know, that's your record of letting you know what's being sold. But you got to come look at the binder to see what's being sold. Meanwhile, you know, these other stores, I can just look online and see what's being sold. So that is, I don't know. Like I said, I just put my stuff in there Friday. So we'll see what happens with that, because I don't know. I'm hoping that it works out, because it's just such a far drive, and I'm really hoping that that I'm able to make a sufficient amount of money there. But the other good thing about them though is that they only charge $25 a month. So I'm kind of like, girl, suck it up. It's just $25 a month. So I should be able to make $25 a month, right? Plus, like, that's not going to really hurt the bank. You know, this whole $60 a month, that's kind of a lot. So $25 a month, I can manage that. And hopefully make those sales. And I'm advertising the soap making class there as well. So they can purchase the class in that store. And then, of course, they have to travel to Melbourne to actually attend the class. But $25 and then 10%. So I really like that. There is another store that is nearby that's closer to me that I am going to look into. Another antique store that's about 25 minutes away. So I am going to call them probably tomorrow, Monday, to see if they are taking any applications and what their fees are, and if I can get into there, because I feel like the more that I can get into, obviously the more eyeballs that I have on it, and then maybe I can create some unique relationships where I can do like custom orders, and I can get my first wholesale order. Like, fingers crossed, y'all. I've been trying to like get this wholesale order up and running. Of course, I feel like I can do better. I could work harder, but I'm kind of limited because I got a lot of other things going on. I got multiple full-time jobs going on here. So I'm just trying to do my best. But being patient and being gracious to God for the blessings that he has given to me along the way. And just really trying to enjoy the journey to this wholesale. You know, just journeying to seeing this business get more and more successful. I do appreciate all the individuals that watch my videos, that like my videos, that my subscribers, my monthly subscribers. I appreciate you guys. I, appreciate, those that will comment on my video. And just those that genuinely wish me well. I appreciate it. I want you to know that, like, your comments, your likes, your purchases, they don't go unnoticed. So I really do appreciate that. Thank you guys. And I'll catch you on the next one with another update. Hopefully I'll be able to tell you that I made like $300. Yay. Yeah. Fingers crossed on that one. But thank you guys. For now, Black Hands are out. Bye bye, guys.